Hey there, members! Welcome to the very first members-only video for Talking Habs community. So thank you for joining and taking a membership. I really appreciate that. Hopefully you'll enjoy your time with the memberships, and we'll grow this community, and we'll do a lot of good stuff here. I want to remind you that the perks that you're receiving for whatever level it is that you took, those things will be added to as the channel does a little better. The perks are going to add perks to each level. So hopefully you'll enjoy that, and hopefully you'll enjoy this video, which is about my 12 best trades for the Montreal Canadiens since the year 2000. And there are actually, I believe there are actually, it would have been 11. There's a tie, but that still takes up a number. But anyways, there's a one that's a tie, and yeah, you know what's kind of cool, and what's throwing me off is that I don't have to say please subscribe and ring the notifications bell, and that'll get you, because you guys are members. So I just want to thank you all for that. And yeah, I'm being kind of silly. It's just one of those days. I shot a couple of videos before this one. So I'm kind of a little bit tired because I've been working on writing and stuff all day, and now I'm shooting the videos. And I work alone, so it kind of gets to be, at the end of the day, you can be tired. You wouldn't think so, you know, just sitting around writing and thinking about stuff, and then I'm not doing anything physically too hard. But it does get tired, I guess, mentally, because you're using your brain all the time. So enough of that. Enough of me here. Let's get to the video. So these are the 12 best trades. There's kind of actually, well, there's 12, but I broke it down because there's a tie here. I didn't have a 7, but I made 7. 6s, 6 and 7. So just if you're wondering why that's the way it is. So let's get right into it. So enough babbling here. The first trade is a guy that I liked when he was here. He was a defenseman, came in at a time when we needed a good defenseman, and they traded him away after acquiring him. They traded him, I don't think he was here that long, and it was a time when the team was really kind of sucky. A little bit before Marc Bergevin, and yeah, he's on the list. There wasn't that many great trades since 2000. There were some really good ones. Don't get me wrong, but this one, because I like the guy, and they gave up nothing to get him. So it's James Wisniewski, which he has a really weird name to write. James Wisniewski. Wisniewski. With an I. Badly spelled. They made the trade with the New York Islanders. They gave up 2 draft picks, a 2011 second round and a 2012 conditional 5th round pick. Didn't look to see if it got executed on or not, but it was a conditional 5th round pick. I don't know what the conditions were. It might have been, let me see, I did read it, that if Wisniewski played 50% of Montreal's game going forward, or when did they trade for him? December? Yeah. For the rest of the season that the condition would kick in, I guess. So, yeah, that's what it was. Next one up is 2 players. One was, he was okay, like a 3rd, 4th liner, and the other one was goalie that I thought was really good. I've got his sweater hanging up my wall because someone gave it to me, and that is, first one is Radic Bonk, who we used to make a lot of fun of, but Bonk, when he was with the Senators, was a good player. Bonk used to be, I would say, a 2nd or a scoring 3rd line center, I think. I don't know if he was a center, but anyways, player. When he came here, I guess it was a little later in his career, he didn't do, he wasn't that great, but he was a good, solid 3rd, 4th line player from what I remember, without looking up his numbers and all that. Next up is a good goalie that was here. Like I said, I've got his sweater, and that's Cristobal Huet, who I think doesn't get a lot of credit or respect for what he did here. He put up really good numbers here. He started out, he was playing with Jose Theodore, who had been, the Hart winner one year. He had a just like lights out season. And then his career quickly went downhill. And thank God we had a guy like Huet here to fill in the gap till Carey Price was drafted, and I don't think Price, he was drafted, he went to the AHL, won a Calder Cup, and then came here, so he didn't spend a lot of time in the AHL. Anyways, then it was the beginning of Price's career. I believe it was Price and Huet. They traded Huet, I think, to Washington a couple years later, but while he was here, he was a good goalie. I liked him a lot. I think a lot of people make fun of him because of that he was born in France or something like that, but I think he was a good goalie. Maybe it was Belgium. I think he might be Belgium. Anyways, They gave up Matthew Guerra, who I remember the controversy when Guerra was here, and I thought it was a controversy with Price and Guerra. It must have been Theodore and Guerra, and a lot of people really wanted Guerra, and a lot of people wanted Theodore. I was a Theodore guy. Theodore really went downhill fast after a couple of seasons here. And Guerra, look, he stayed in the league a long time, but he wasn't really number one, I don't think, number one goalie. So that's how it is. And they gave up a 2004 third rounder at the same time. Excuse me, losing my, I got to take a break for a drink. I hope you don't mind. I'm being a little bit looser here. It's a members only video, so I'm just trying to be a little looser. Don't have to be so uptight about perfection. You guys know me, and we'll probably already have some kind of a rapport. So, yeah, so it feels a little bit looser. Okay, let's get back into it. Next one up, 10. The players involved in this weren't like great players, but as I'll explain, like right now, I'll explain it. It's kind of the draft picks that came with it ended up being Max Pacioretty. Then we traded Max Pacioretty, which in turn became Tatar and Suzuki. So it was kind of like, you know, a trade that just kept giving and giving and giving as it went along. And that is, we acquired Josh Georges in exchange for another guy who was kind of a lot like Josh Georges. Although Josh Georges, he's that kind of guy that he'd skate through a brick wall to stop a puck or whatever. You know, defensemen, both defensemen. And they gave up Craig Rivet, who was another guy. For me, in my mind, I don't know, a lot like each other. So it was Josh Georges for Craig Rivet. I don't usually, and the other ones I didn't put who for, but I thought that was interesting. And they also each got a 2007 first-round pick for us. That became Max Pacioretty. And Craig Rivet, we gave a 2008 fifth-round pick. Don't know who they got for that. But that first-rounder, which was really important, like I said, became Pacioretty, which in turn became Tatar. And Nick Suzuki. And I'm not sure who they got for that, because we also got a draft pick in there, and I don't remember what it was, but it will come up later. Okay, next up, number 9 is March 1st, 2000, in a trade with New Jersey, we picked up Sheldon Surrey. Sorry about that. I think I'll put the guy traded for also. It was Sheldon Surrey, Josh DeWolf, who did nothing, a 2001 second-round pick, and we gave up Vladimir Malakov, who was a good defenseman, but at the time, if you go look at his record, you can see that it was probably a really smart trade, because Malakov was actually at the beginning of falling off, like where he declines, and you can see it in his numbers going forward after he left Montreal. Whereas Sheldon Surrey came in, and I know at one point he set a record for power play goals, and he was just one of those power play specialists from the point with his shot, kind of like Weber in that way. Not as good an all-around defenseman as Weber, but he was good, and he stayed here for a number of years, and everyone loved Sheldon Surrey, and it was a good trade. We gave up Malakov, who, like I said, was kind of at the decline of his career, so it was a really good trade. And that was with, did I say who it was with? New Jersey, yeah. I forgot Malakov played, we sent him to New Jersey. Dale, almost gave away number 8. Number 8, not great players really overall, but the guy we got, who you probably just heard me say, kind of ignited something when he came here. It was exciting. He played better here than he played anywhere else, and he brought excitement back to the game at a time, to the Habs at a time when there wasn't that much exciting going on. That's what I remember, and obviously I just said that was Dale Weiss. Dale Weiss, who in his first time here was a second line. I think they played him second line, but he should have probably been a third line guy. But like I said, he kind of played above his, what's the word I'm looking for? He played over his head. And but he, like I said, brought a lot of excitement, scored a lot of exciting goals here, and it was really good. And we gave up Rafael Diaz, which, I mean, he was an adequate defenseman. But I mean, nothing. I mean, it looked like he was going to be good, and then I don't know. He's just a regular defenseman. So it was a good deal because Weiss really ignited something when he came here, and I thought just for that was a really good trade because it was at a time when really, from what I remember, there wasn't a lot of excitement, and Weiss really just brought some excitement. And that was February 3rd, 2014, and one of the first Bergevin trades, I think. Number 7 and 6 is a tie. And in no particular order, it just happens to be how I wrote it, but I don't think it's a tie, so it's not a particular order, obviously. First one up will be June 15th, 2018, in a trade with Arizona, which probably everybody knows. We picked up Max Domi, and we gave up the ever-frustrating, Alex Galchenyuk. Horrible writing, but because it's harder to write on the boards when things are written and you don't want to erase something. Alex Galchenyuk, the guy, is he center? Is he right wing? Is he a center? Is he a wing? Is he a center? We don't know. And I don't think to this day anybody knows. And he's probably on his last legs here in the NHL with Minnesota right now. He needs to step up and play. We got Max Domi, who a lot of people will say, you know, he's kind of an up and down. What kind of player is he? What kind of, whatever, you know. Is he the guy that's going to give you get penalties and screw you up? And maybe, you know, just his anger or his emotions get in the way? Or is he a guy that's got a lot of talent, which he does, a guy that can fly on the ice, and a guy that can control the puck pretty? I like his stick handling when he's on the fly and sets up a lot of really nice plays. If he can play like that consistently. Anyway, even the other guy who gets only 50-odd goals, still better than Galchenyuk. Galchenyuk's father is in his head. His father's a coach, and it never worked out because he never listened to the coaches. And it turned out that he might not even really be an NHL hockey player. So it was a really good trade. Did I say when that happened? I think I did. And next up, that's tied with it. And I don't know if people will agree with me on this one, but I really think this was a good trade, mainly because of what happened to the guy we traded. After he left here, he kind of really went downhill, in my opinion, a couple of years after it took place. So that is obviously, if you figured it out already, is our captain. We acquired Shea Weber. On June 29, 2016, with the Nashville Predators, were the team we traded with. And in turn, we gave up, as everybody knows, and is still arguing over, was this a good trade? Did we lose the trade? Well, I think we won that trade. Now, I don't know if Subban would have gone. He's kind of in a decline. I don't know. He's really young to be in a decline. Or I think he's just not concentrating on hockey enough. He's got too many things in his life, and I don't think hockey is priority one anymore. And that's the problem. Would that have happened here? More than likely, it would have happened here just like it did there. And so I think we won the trade because Weber at least is consistent. Injury problems are the only thing, and even at that, it's not horrible, and he still produces points when he's playing. So, yeah, that makes number 6 tied with Max Domi. Number 5, trade with the Oilers on, I wrote it here, March 2nd, 2015. When he came in here, he kind of had an up and down start, like good, bad. We didn't know what was going to happen with Jeff Petrie, and then, like he's 32 now, so I want to say probably at 29, he became who he is kind of now, and that's so he acquired, like I said, Jeff Petrie, which at the time he might have been the Oilers' best defenseman. I'm not sure, but it was a good deal, and considering what we gave up for him. A 2015 second rounder and a 2015 conditional 5th rounder. I don't know what the conditions were, but I have a feeling that Petrie was going to be a free agent, and maybe the condition was if Montreal was able to sign him. The pick goes to Edmonton. That's probably what happened. I don't remember. And Montreal did sign him, and Jeff Petrie, and it was just draft picks. I guess I can put just draft picks. Next up, Number 4 was one of those picks I got. If you watch my videos, I kind of proposed a trade for Anthony Mantha from Detroit, taking Justin I have trouble with that name, Abdelkader's contract, which is a horrible contract. So this is what number 4 is, a trade similar to that, and that's Joel Armia. I don't want to call him Joel. Joel Armia and Steve Mason, who had a bad contract, was pretty much done. Montreal buried it or bought him out. I'm not bought him out. We got 2 draft picks. Let me see now. A 2019 7th round and a 2020 4th round. And we gave up Simon Bork. Like, right, have you heard of him before? No, because he did nothing. So we got Joel Armia, who, granted, wasn't a star. So obviously that, and we took a bad contract, and that's why we gave nothing. Now, in the Anthony Mantha proposal I made, now Anthony Mantha is kind of a star, and you're going to have to give a little more than Simon Bork for that. But by taking the Abdelkader contract, if you can swing that, that drops the price you have to pay. So instead of having maybe to give up like an Alex Romanov or Cole Caulfield in that kind of a trade, you're looking at draft picks and maybe a lesser prospect or 2 lesser prospects, something like that, easier to swallow and can be made. That's the first. I don't know if it's the first time we did that kind of a trade, but I know Bergevin, that's the first time he did one of those kind of trades. And it worked out well, and it can work out again. Next up, number 3 is from February 26, 2016, and we picked up our number 1 forward center right now, and that's Phil Deneau. I'm just going to put Deneau. Phil Deneau, and we gave up absolutely nothing to get a Deneau. Now, granted, Deneau was young still, and he was still kind of growing into his the player he is today. I don't know if Chicago realized it, but they must have. They must have. How did they not realize? I don't know. Maybe it was a money thing. I don't really know why they gave up Deneau for what we paid for him, but I'm happy that that happened. So we got Deneau and a 2018 second-round pick for Dale Weiss going the other way, who was pretty much done here in Montreal as far as that excitement and all that stuff that we got from him. And Thomas Fleischmann, who also, I think, was at the end of his career as well. And I think that's one of the, it deserves to be like the top 3, because that's a great trade where you're giving up nothing. And you're getting a guy that could be in the Selke race to win the Selke trophy. Our number 1 center right now, a solid, hard guy to play against. A full 200-foot game with this guy. And yeah, I think that's a great trade. So next up, number 2, from a while back, from 2004, March 2nd, 2004, trade with the New York Rangers. And again, getting a guy that, well, this guy everybody loved here while he was here. Left a little too early because he wanted a little bit more money, and they wouldn't give it to, I don't know. So it was a mistake to go to Ottawa instead of staying here. And that is, we'll get right to it, is Alex Kovalev. Alex Kovalev. Guy with all the talent in the world, but doesn't want to bring it every night. But he brings it often enough to put up really good numbers, to win you some games, and to really, people just love them because, man, this guy was talented. It's too bad he didn't bring it every night. It's too bad he didn't have a Gallagher's attitude. Imagine Gallagher's attitude and Alex Kovalev. Wow. What we gave up was nothing. We gave up Joseph Ballet, who, again, just a minor leaguer. No disrespect for these guys, but, I mean, in the business, it's a business. In that sense, it was nothing. And a 2004 second-round pick. Okay, so the second-round pick's a decent pick, but it's a second-round pick. It's still nothing when you consider Alex Kovalev. So, for me, very well worthy of number 2 because you gave up nothing to get a really, really good guy. He was fill-in captain when our captain at the time, don't remember who it was injured. So, I mean, this was a talented guy. Obviously, everyone knows Kovalev. So next up is the best trade since 2000 that I think is the absolute, hands down, best trade since 2000. And that obviously is picking up Thomas Tatar and the very young but very talented and future superstar for the Montreal Canadiens, Nick Suzuki. And we gave up a very good player, yes, Max Pacioretty. So I think Vegas, sorry for that bad spelling. I think Vegas got what they wanted. I think Montreal got what they wanted. I don't know if they absolutely knew what Suzuki was going to be, but I would think they knew from scouting that Nick Suzuki was worth this trade. I think they knew Thomas Tatar had the potential to do what he's doing, but considering the year he had previous, who knew that he was going to come to Montreal and absolutely fall in love with Montreal? And it showed in the way he's playing. He's playing the best hockey of his career. I mean, I get that he's in his prime, and I guess he entered it when he came here or was just starting. And I'm glad they didn't trade him. I think this guy loves Montreal. I don't think anywhere else he's going to play as well as he is going to play in Montreal, and I think is worth keeping. So that's Thomas Tatar, Nick Suzuki for Max Pacioretty. That's the #1 best trade Montreal's made since the year 2000. So there you go. It's been long. Your members, I figure if you're members, you don't mind me running on the mouth too much because, that's the way it is. I don't have to shorten it for YouTube, so I hope you don't mind that, and I hope you've been entertained. I hope you liked. I was going to say, if you like the video, give a thumbs up, which I imagine you can. And if you want to, I'd appreciate that. And I guess that's it. So this is my first video for you guys, for the members. Once again, I would like to thank members for signing up for the memberships. I really appreciate it. It really helps to support the channel. The perks will get better. Well, not to say better, but there'll be more. I'll be adding perks to each level as we go along. And yeah, so I hope you liked it. Thanks for watching. Please stay safe. I don't know when you're watching. Maybe we're through all this, but please stay safe. Wash your hands. Put on a mask. Stay at home as much as you can. I should write a poem about that. And or a song. And thanks for watching. Peace out, and I will make more videos for you regularly, and hopefully I'd like your suggestions in the comment section. Any video ideas, suggest them away. Thanks, everybody. Stay safe. Be good. Peace out.